Hello everybody, welcome back to Grassroots NASCAR Racing. My name is Scott and today we're going to be doing another Bring a Trailer auction review. This is number 3. Man, a lot of cars are popping up on there. I didn't think I'd be doing this many this quick. Usually there's a week or two in between them, so to have 3 back to back to back like this is interesting. But today we're going to dive into the second one, take a look at what it sold for and who our big winner was, and then we will dive into today's. And since today's is an older car, I'm wearing a little bit of a older crew shirt. This is an old Kyle Petty sit-go shirt, but I'll tell you what, they did not make breathable fabrics back in the day. I am sweating in this thing. It's 73 degrees in my house right now. Whew, I can't imagine these guys wearing something like this at the track. Man, they were probably sweating their butts off. But let's dig into the Mark Martin Ford Taurus and see what it sold for. All right, so here it is, $27,000. Holy moly, I did not see that coming. 27 grand for an actual Mark Martin car. That is crazy. I thought it would have gone for more than that. And my buddy Landon with JR51, when it was at 22 grand, he thought it wasn't going to go for much more than that. And he was right. So good job, Landon. But next question is, who was our big winner? Big winner for this auction. I did not see this coming either. This is crazy. So our winner was Benjamin, is it White? W-I-T-T-E, or Witt. So Benjamin White, 5184. He was our big winner with a bid, and remember this is Price is Right rules. Closest to the sell price without going over. He won with a bid of $1. That's right. Everybody else was in the 30,000s or higher. Nobody bid in the 20,000s. Nobody. So he won with a bid of $1. That's legend, man. I did not see that coming. I did not think that would ever happen with any of these. So that is pretty darn cool. So Benjamin, if you want to get in contact with me, my email address is in the description below for the video. And if you want to send me an email, I will send you a prize pack if you want. That's nuts. All right, so let's dig into today's car. This one is a Cale Yarborough 1977 Oldsmobile Cutlass. Look at that thing. That is pretty cool. You don't see a lot of older cars like this pop up, so to see one is pretty neat, and especially a Cale Yarborough car. But the first thing that jumps out at me looking at this picture is this tow hook on the front. So that tells me that this car is probably being raced in one of the vintage series, because you wouldn't have that on there if this was just, in private hands and you were just, holding on to it or taking it to events like ours. But pretty cool. Those are newer wheels, I would think. You'd probably have welds or something like that on there for being this old. So let's dive into this here. 77 old Cutlass. It's a banjo car driven by Cale Yarborough to his 3rd consecutive Winston Cup Series championship in '78. Underwent refurbishment overseen by crew chief Travis Carter in the early 2000s before being driven by Yarborough at the debut of Darlington Raceway's lighting system in 2004. So that's cool. Cale has actually driven the car after it was restored. That's pretty neat. After being purchased by the seller in 2013, car was converted to road course specifications and driven in various vintage racing events. So there you go. So it's been converted to road course, driven in some of the vintage racing stuff. Spent the last 3 years on display as part of the NASCAR Hall of Fame Museum's Glory Road Champions exhibit. So that's pretty cool. It's got a 358 SB2, so it's got a newer engine, but that's good for what he's using it for. 4-speed Jericho Hurst Earhart disc brakes, so that's cool. It's got some older, rarer brakes on it. It's pretty neat. Yeah, just kind of the average stuff. Roll cage. It's got a newer racing seats. Yep, there you go, SVRA logbooks. So yeah, he's racing it. Yeah, you can see the tow hook on the back right there. And look at these brake lights. Wow. You know what that reminds me of, guys? Have you seen Short Circuit? You remember that movie? Where Johnny Five has the little metal eyebrows that like go up and down depending on if he's happy or angry or something? That's what that looks like. That would be so distracting to me if I was racing against this guy and I came up behind him. I'd start laughing while I was driving. Let's see. Anything cool in here? Won 10 races in this car, so that's cool. 10 races. Selling notes. Features include riveted bumper panels. Ooh. Man, could you imagine going down to the dealership today, looking at a Mustang or an F-150 or something, and the salesman says, hey, this thing has got a lot of features. It's even got riveted bumper panels. That's a good selling point. Oh yeah, definitely a newer seat. So depending on what you're wanting it for, I mean, that throws off the whole vintage vibe. I like the window net though. It's got like the old style window net. I'm surprised they let them race with that, but it's pretty cool. There's your dash. It's got the older gauges on the side here, but a newer tack in the middle, and some kind of digital one over here. There's your engine bay, your SB2. Car is reportedly overhauled by Ernie Elliott. That's cool. Ah, there we go. Well, you know what? Let's scroll down to the pictures, because I bet that picture is down there. Yep. There we go. So if you wanted to convert this back to where it's not so modern, looks like it comes with the original seat, the headrest, steering wheel, headers. I think that's like for the steering column or something. That's cool. It's always good to have the original parts. It's definitely nice and clean underneath. Looks real good underneath. Let's see, engine bay. Engine, of course, looks very clean. Look at this. So there's your overflow bottle. He's using like a newer bottle of Shell gear oil. I like the idea of doing this. I always like when I see at car shows an older car that has something like this, but if you're gonna do that, use a bottle from the time period, from the late 70s, so that it at least looks period correct. That doesn't look good to me using a today bottle, but whatever. This wiring doesn't look the best across the front here. I wish that could be cleaned up, because all this looks so clean, and then you have these wires just all across the front. But everything else looks really good. I'm sure that thing is a blast on the track. Here's your fuel cell. So your oil reservoir is back here in the back. Looks kind of crazy seeing all these braided lines in the trunk. I'm used to just seeing one coming off the fuel cell, and that's it. It's kind of crazy to see that many. But look at this fuel cell. That is definitely old school. Like, I'm used to the ones from the 90s that are a lot more rectangular. And then this piece, I don't know why they would shape it like that, but it definitely looks cool. Definitely older stuff. You got the interior. I don't get why. It's a strange spot for the battery, and from this picture you can't even, well, I don't see like an obvious strap down, and it doesn't look like they're using the post. So does it have those screw-on ones on the front, I guess? This looks like a mix of old and new. That's definitely newer right there. And then these look older, but it looks good. Pedals look good. Yeah, oh, there you go. It's a digital volt gauge that's on the dash. So definitely newer stuff. Yep. It looks cool. I mean, now you got the banjo plate on there too, so that's good. Banjo chassis, banjo plate. So this is definitely a mix of old and new, but it's good for people who want to have a good track car. Tires definitely need to be replaced. Look at these cracks going around. Definitely not good for any racing today. Signed by Cale Yarborough on the dash. That's cool. That hood, look at that. It doesn't line up at all. I don't know if they can do some kind of work right there where it attaches to get it to come down just a little bit, but I guess it wasn't too big of a concern back in the day when this thing raced. The fit and finish. But yeah, this thing looks pretty cool. It would definitely be a fun track day car. For sure. Look, they provided an appraisal by Gene Felton from 2014. On today's market, I would value this car in its present, beautifully and authentically restored condition at, and then they don't show you. That's crappy. But anyway, this looks like a really cool car. It's got 5 days left and it's at $35,000. Now I saw this yesterday. I think it was yesterday when it went up and it was at $20,000. So it's already jumped 15 grand. So this one could move a little bit. So let's see. What do you guys think it's gonna sell for? Comment down below, let me know your guess, and remember, Price is Right rules. Whoever can get closest without going over. I am going to say that since this is a raceable car, now I think they said somewhere that it hasn't raced in like 4 years. So they said you're gonna have to have somebody go through the car to be sure it is track worthy. So you're gonna have to spend a little money doing that. You gotta keep that in mind. But I'm sure it's all pretty much good to go. There wouldn't be a lot of money in that. So, being that it's a real Cale Yarborough car, it's been raced, it doesn't have, you know, of course, the original engine. It does come with some of the original parts like the seat, but whoever buys this is probably gonna buy it to race it. So, I'm gonna guess Cale Yarborough car, man. I haven't seen many pop up like this old stuff, so it's hard to make a guess. But I'm gonna go with 72 grand. That's gonna be my guess. What do you think? Comment down below, let me know what you think. And at the beginning of the next BAT auction review, we will go over who the winner was and what the final price was. But yeah, that's a cool car. I really, really like it. Somebody's gonna have a lot of fun with that car, so. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Take care. Don't forget to comment down below and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later. Take care.